Okay, so what's the point? How do you defend a key lock? Well, we're going to look at defending a key lock today. If you notice how I set the key lock up was I actually got a mount position by getting on top of Chadas here. I climbed up high to isolate his arms, and then essentially I started slapping him. And the reason why I'm slapping him is to save my hands. I could be elbowing and punching him, but what I'm trying to do is get his arms up. So it's a very simple strategy. Once I get his arms up, it's easy for me to isolate the arm and then roll it down. Okay, I could be nasty in elbowing, but I'm going to be really nice to my partner here. Okay, and this allows me to set up the key lock. So I'm not going to teach a tutorial on key locking today, okay, because it's a very specific move. It's not a rolling move like this. It's a downward inward movement, which I'll talk about that another time. What I really want to talk about is how you defend it, because we're doing a series of defense videos at the moment, and it makes sense to try to get you in a situation where you can defend against most situations. So the guy's set me up. He's got a mount. Take a mount, please. I've made a mistake. I'm on the ground. The first thing, as always, is I never want the guy to have his knees above my elbows, above my armpits. So if he climbs up, this is bad for me. It's bad for me because he can punch me in the face, but my arms are isolated, so he can attack them anyway. So what I always want to be able to do is cover up and then shrink back. So I'm like this. I want him ideally over my waist. Now let's just say it's gone wrong for me, because things do go wrong in a real fight. There's no such thing as anything ever going to plan. If he's throwing punches at me or he's slapping me and I'm covering up, and then somehow he manages to pry my arm away because I'm defending myself, my first instinct, and this is where it's not so bad, it's not so bad because he's got 2-on-1. I take my other hand, which is this hand, and I block onto it, or I put it onto the back of his tricep like so. So if you come around, you'll see that the hand is on the back of the tricep. So I'm relaxing this hand, but I'm doing this. Now this gives me a little bit of leverage. It's harder for him to bring his elbow in, but it's also easy that now if I bump and I bridge, I can pull my elbow in. And that essentially defends it. It's a very simple idea. So I'll show you again. If he isolates my arm, all I'm trying to do is bridge my hips up onto my shoulder, okay, use this as a pivoting point and suck my arm in. And then from this position is obviously an issue of trying to escape and trying to get back up. Boom. So now I'm in a position to fight the guy, okay, and get to my feet and so on. Now, here's the interesting thing. Sometimes when you're in a grappling situation, the guy might use the same sort of Americana lock, or key lock as we sometimes call it, from a side control position. So if you're in a side control position, okay, and the guy's isolated your arm off from this position, the defense is exactly the same. I want to be able to keep this hip covered as usual, but I want to put my hands exactly on the back of the tricep. It's the same as before. Okay, so the hand is turned that way, it's not that way. And it's the same idea. From here, I bring my feet in close and I bridge and pull my elbow in. Now, sometimes that's good enough to work because you can recover the arm and you can keep control of him, okay? In a striking situation, that is. But what you can also do when you're a little bit more experienced is you can bridge onto the shoulder and roll and reverse the position. So now what I'm going to do is, as I do this, I'm going to turn. So as I turn, you see how my partner rotates with me? I find the arm, and now I can finish my own key lock, boom, on him. So let me show you how I did that again, okay? So from this position, what I did was I took the same hand, it was the same concept as the defense from the self-defense portion I showed you. I put the hand onto the back of the tricep, and then I suck the elbow in exactly the same way, but I bridge into the same direction that I pull the elbow in. So the left to the left, in other words. So I bridge towards the left, I pull the left arm in. And at the same time, what I'm doing is I'm creating a point where it's really difficult for him to defend. He needs this arm to post to stop himself from falling. He doesn't have it because he's holding my arm. So what I do is I bridge and I keep rotating and taking him in that direction. It works really well. And then it allows me to isolate his own arm off, boom, and finish my own side control. Whereas if anybody doesn't know anything about submissions, or this particular submission, what it does is it dislocates or attacks the shoulder. So it's quite a nasty submission. It's well worth learning how to defend. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.